Yeah. All right. I know we're gonna have a big party here next period, so I'll be here next period for you guys that are staying around, reviewing, getting some extra points. All right. Anything in general? We got next Friday. Remember, is our 10 multiple choice question review quiz next week. So we'll have that. And we'll try to fit a second one in too before we take the Regents exam 3 weeks from yesterday. Anything in general you want to talk about? Anything you want to run by me? Questions wise, general questions wise. What's up, Isabel? 22, sure. 22, yep. Yep, I cut that out. Day 4. Okay, 22 in the multiple choice section here. It gives you 3 different functions. I got C of X up here. I have S of X. And I don't have it, but they tell me how to find R of X. All right, they tell me. So I have 3 different functions, and they're asking me to subtract the R function from the C function. All right, so the R1, I don't have, but they tell you how to create it. So they're saying, hey, if you want R of X, here's what you guys have to do to find it. Before I do any subtracting, you have to take X and multiply it by whatever S of X was. So you go through the problem. S of X was 95.4 minus 6X. So if you want R of X, you have to take just X and multiply it by the S function, which is this one here. So I'm going to distribute. So R of X is going to be 95.4X minus 6X squared. So there's R of X. Good, so how I got that. Sure? Okay, now it's asking me for R of X, 95.4X minus 6X squared. Subtract that with the C of X, which is all of this up here. Now, here's where you got to be careful if you got to this point. When you're subtracting all of this. So I'm just not writing, different color here, minus 0.18x cubed plus, this is incorrect what I'm doing right now, because you have to subtract all of this, which means you need to distribute that negative sign through everything on C of X. So now instead, I should have not plus, but minus 0.02x squared minus 4x minus 180. Okay? When you subtract, it's subtracting all of this. So that's why that negative sign has to be distributed all the way through. And now from here, you combine your like terms. Okay? Combine your like terms, and it should be choice 3. You're good there, Isabel? You sure? Okay. Other general questions? Anything you want me before I dive right into part 4 here? Yes, Kate?
31.
31. Yep. This is good to do it now because you're going to need it out through the remainder of the class. Can you get out your formulas you're going to need to know sheet? Formulas to know sheet that we've been writing down, because we'll start using it right now. Okay. We're asking this to write in simplest form with rational exponents. So I want to turn radicals into exponents. This is a skill, is a must. Is a must. You have to be able to turn a radical into an exponent and vice versa. And if you guys see, if you take a look on that sheet I asked you to get out, your formula sheet, I did put it on there. It is number 12. All right, how to turn a radical into an exponent. All right, a radical into an exponent. So you guys see, you take your exponent and put it over. Anybody know what this is called on the radical? This number here? Index. Yep, it's called the index. So it's E exponent over your index. That's how. And if nothing is there, I put this example down below. If nothing's there, it's not a 1, it's a 2. Okay, square root. There's a 2 there if nothing's there. So if you want to rewrite it as an exponent, you take the exponent and divide it by the index, E over I. E over I. All right. So if I go back to that problem Kate's asking about, how do I rewrite x to the third, the square root of x to the third? Ready? So I have x times, what's the exponent that's already there? 3 exponent over index. What's the index there? 2. Nothing's there, right? So we know it's a 2. So that's how I rewrite that one. How would you rewrite the bottom one now? X raised to the exponent 5, E over I, index 3. Okay, exponent over index. All right, I definitely got to clean that up, right? Got to clean that up. All right, you guys remember, I don't think I put it on here. Exponent rules, I don't think I did. No. All right, so what do you do here? What do I need to do with my exponents when I multiply? Add them, right? There's a 1 here. So I have to do x, I have to do 1 plus 3 halves. And I believe, oh boy, challenge 5 halves. All right. On the bottom, I still have x to the 5/3. All right, now a new rule. What happens when you divide? Subtract your exponents. All right, so this will be x to the 5/6 when you subtract them. All right, please. I know we're going to do more of them over the next 3 weeks, but got to have the ability to go from a radical to an exponent and rewrite them just like that. So good question, Kate.
Wait, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead, Paige.
About 22, because I didn't get that. Like, I don't know what I got.
Is that the one I just pulled out? Yeah. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
You said to like distribute the negative, so I did.
Mm-hmm.
But 6 minus 0.2 is 5.98. And
But it's negative and negative though.
Oh, it's negative 6.
Right. So now I'm going to get negative 6.02 x squared.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anything here before I get Grant? What's your deal?
18.
18. Okay, I'll just leave it up. I won't cut this out. Okay, which interval is f of x always positive? Don't get that confused with increasing though, Grant. I want to f of x, Grant's another way of saying what variable?
Y.
The y's. So where are the y's always positive? So let's take a look. What about over the interval of -2 to 4? You ready, Grant? If I go from -2 to 4, do you see right here? It's negative. F of x, the y values are negative. So I don't want that one. You good? All right, keep going here with me. 0 to 10. So if I go from 0 to 10, it's all negative, isn't it? All right, so that's not it. How about -12 to -5? Oh, maybe here, maybe, but let's see. 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, this part right here is negative, right? So why is it -10 to 0? Here's -10. Here's 0. Do you see how this entire thing on the y-axis is positive?
Yep.
Okay. Good. Don't. When I first read this too, Grant, I thought of increase. It's not increasing. Where is it positive? Okay. Where is it positive? You ready to go to part 4? All right. Let's bite this big dog off here. There is one part 4 question on the Regents. There will be one part 4. It's worth 6 points. Don't leave it blank. Okay. Write as much as you possibly can because we ride that partial credit train to passing time. Right? So do as much as you can. Don't leave it blank. It's 6 points. It's a lot of points. Do what you can here. Make sure you have that formula sheet right next to you that you need to know because you're going to need it here. All right, we got two people here. We got Abby and Brett. They happen to be twins if you cared. Both investing $8,000. All right, here's the key here. Ready? Let's start this up. Abby's account's going to be 4.2% annual interest compounded quarterly versus Brett, different interest rate, but his is going to be compounded continuously. Both are going to use different formulas. Both are going to use different formulas. So can you please go to your formula sheet for me? I wrote this all out for you guys on there because it comes up every year. Okay, number 8, which is compounded continuously versus compounded any other way. Okay, so we're going to use both formulas right now, both formulas. So let's start with, who was the first one here? Abby? All right, because it's asking us to write a function for both. So write an equation that represents both accounts. So let's do Abby first. Hers was what? Compounded quarterly, right? Compounded quarterly. So I'm going to use that second one right here, compounded any other way but continuously. So we're going to do any other way. So it's P, and we don't have to write this out, but P for principal, which is for us what? 8,000, what she invested. 8,000 times, it's always 1 plus our rate, which is 4.2. You guys know better at this point. You got to know better. We can't plug in 4.2. We need it as a decimal. So if you're unsure, divide it by 100. 0.042. And now we divide that by, take a look. This is where you're going to have to think a little bit. The number of times it's being compounded. Quarterly. How many times? 4. Quarterly. Quarterly. Break it up into quarters. That's how many? 4. Everyone good? Now, other words you may see. Other words you may see. Semi-annually. How many times would that be? 2. Or you may just see annually. That would be 1. And the only other thing I can think of is monthly. 12. Okay, so some words other than quarterly you may see there that would affect that 4. All right, and then we raise it to
4.
n, the number of times it's compounded times t. So 4t. So there is Abby. You ready for Brett? Because now his is continuously. That's what I call APERT. What the heck's he talking about when he says APERT? Look at the formula. That's how I pronounce it. Okay, APERT. Anytime I see compounded continuously, APERT. All right, so P for principal, 8,000. But now it's E, and remember, that's not a variable. That's the E on the calculator. I don't, 2 point whatever it is. Raised to the, what's my rate for Brett? 0.039 T. Compounded quarterly, monthly. That's the formula. Continuously, APERT. Okay, APERT. All right, now that we have that, hopefully this next part will be smooth sailing. How determine who will have more money in the account after 18 years, being 18 years old. What are you doing with the 18? For what? T, there you go. All right, let's do this. So A with the 18 in it. And you also have to do a little something extra at the end here too, other than just find out who will have more. 4 times 18. And then do it for, what's this kid's name? Brett? nearest cent, right? So that's kind of like the nearest hundredth, nearest cent. So it looks like Abby. But there's another part to this, isn't there? Other than saying Abby will have more money. What's the difference between them, right? So what? I'm still going to ask though. What do you got to do to these? Subtract them. Yeah. All right. $828.63. And there's a third part. That's welcome to part 4. We're all good here? Whew. All right, buckle up here. Buckle up for this last part. All right, nearest tenth of a year. How long is it going to take Brett's account to triple? Right, his account, how long is it? And it says algebraically because they don't want you to guess and check. You won't get any credit for that. So that's why they threw that algebraically in there. All right, well, Brett's account started at what? 8,000. We want to know how long it's going to take to triple. So we're looking for when it reaches what then? 24,000, right? We want to know how many years is it going to take to make 24,000. And we're solving for, if we go back up to Brett's here, T is time. So that's what I need you to help me solve here. If it's going to, when does it equal $24,000? Triple. And this is going to be brutal here because it's going to bring up some bad memories. So all I did was take Brett's equation and set it equal to 24,000 when it triples. All right, we got to get T by itself. You ready? Anybody want to help me? What do you think I got to get rid of first? $8,000. Good. How do I get rid of it? Divided. All right, it's being multiplied all the way through, so get rid of it. Divide by 8,000. So we get 3 equals e to the 0.039 to the t. And here's where the fun starts.
Do you have to do like
Don't say a word. I'll do the teaching. You cannot do e to the 0.039 and get whatever number that, because the t is attached. So I can't just do e to the 0.039. What are you going to tell me now?
I was going to ask about log.
About what?
Log.
You're darn right. That's what's going to end up happening here. All right, ready? If you want to get it, if your exponent, your variable is in the exponent and you want to get it down from the exponent, yes, we have to do logs. So I need to take this whole thing and I want to move it down here out of the exponent. And the only way you're allowed to do that is if you log it. So I'm going to bring the 0.0, and this is going to happen. If there's a guarantee I could put on this test, you're going to have to solve for an exponent by logging. 0.039t log whatever the base was, in this case, e. So notice how I brought the exponent down, but that means I have to log the base. And you better keep it balanced. What do I mean by keep it balanced? Didn't I just log one side? To keep it balanced, you can't just leave it a 3. You got to log the other side. Log 3. And I'm sorry if you don't remember it or from last year, but all right, this is why we review. I'm trying to go over the stuff I think you might be exposed to on the actual Regents. All right, now I got to get T by itself. How do you want to do it? Divide both sides by. There's a couple things we could do here. We could do it all at once or two separate steps, but we got to get rid of the 0.039 and we got to get rid of the log E and get T by itself. How you want to do it?
Log
You can divide by log E? Okay. You can divide. Hey, look, listen to me. You can divide by 0.039. You can divide by log E, or you can divide by the whole darn thing all at once to get rid of it. It's up to you. Whether you do it in two separate steps or one full step. Doesn't matter. If you decide to divide by log E here, I harped on this yesterday. What are you not going to do when you look at that number in your calculator? Because this is going to be a long decimal. You're going to write the whole darn thing out until the end, right? The whole darn thing you're going to write out. So you guys decide what you want to do here. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Divide two numbers separately or the whole thing all at once. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I just want to make sure we get to the final answer. If you're having calculator problems, let me know.
In the log, it goes log 10. Do you put the 3 where the 10 was?
No, there's no base here. It's just log. It should just be.
It automatically.
So if I'm dividing up top log 3, that's it.
So you keep the 10.
Yeah, because remember, if there's no base showing, like this problem here, if there's no base showing, it's assumed it's a 10. Okay, so yes, keep that in there.
And what do you do for the exponent?
All right, so now you go down and do log E,
Oh, I was doing.
and there is no exponent. So I just go to the right,
Can you,
or you can put in a 1 if you want.
can you
Alright.
do the whole thing in one shot?
You should be able to.
Not like just that, like the whole thing.
And then what, put the 0.039 with it? Yeah, you should be. Here, go back here,
Oh, yeah.
0.039.
Wait, you have to put the 10 with the log.
Oh, it just automatically appears. You can get rid of it. I don't think it'll matter if you get rid of it, but it'll automatically appear. And nearest 10th, 28.2. All right. Anything you want to ask, Sarah? Hopefully we'll see more, but you got to practice on your own. What's up, Ethan? Go.
You would have to put years benefit and they want units.
Did they want units?
I don't know. I was just asking.
Not if they don't ask. Don't worry about it. Yep. They don't ask for units. Don't worry about it. We don't take off for that. All right. We are putting the August 23 to bed. Unless you're going to work on more of it on your own or come in and talk to me about it, we're going to June 23 now. June 23. Honest assessment here. How we feeling? Good thing we have another 3 weeks. June 2023. The more you do, the more your confidence grows. That's the way it works. All right. The more you do, the more it grows. And remember, I'm just concerned about passing. Road to 26 points. You guys have your own goal, I'm sure, which is great. All right. My goal. Look, I don't want you to come in that Monday and be like, oh my God, I got a 72. You're not going to hear anything from me. All right. That's on you guys, your own goal. And that, can I tell you, that is no exaggeration. That is my favorite day of the entire school year. Is that Monday we all get back after the Regents. I can just celebrate, high fives, pounds as you come through the door. I get all fired up.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that as it goes. We'll discuss that. Possible brownies, cookie cake, maybe, depending on if I can get all of you to pass. We can talk, yeah?
When do we know if we pass, like that Monday?
No, we will correct them on Friday morning, and I will put them in Aspen. Okay? Well, I should say, we correct them on Friday morning, and we send them into the state, and they come back with the scores.
Okay.
So it might not be until Friday afternoon, late Friday afternoon. So, all right. Ready to go? All right, here we go. Hit the multiple choice because that's where we're going to pass, right? Number 3. What are the zeros of all this? Number 3, what are the zeros here? We can answer this a couple ways. What are you guys going to do? And do what? Where?
In your calculator.
But there's menus. Hey, whoa, have you seen the menu on this beast? I need a little bit more than just go to the calculator. What do you want me to do then? Or the zero? Well, first of all, what are zeros? The solutions, right? The answers. Or where they cross where then? The x-axis. So either we could solve this right now, or we can go to graph or equations. Yeah, we could go to, I didn't even think about that, Gabby. Yeah, we could go to equations.
I don't know how we do it.
You just put it equal to 0.
Oh, did it just come out that way?
What's that?
Like standard.
There's a lot going on right now.
Like if you just put it in equations, it just comes out with the answers.
But you got to set it equal to 0 because that's where your zeros
No, I'm
are,
not
right?
saying that.
Marty?
Should you put it in standard form?
No. When you're putting in your calculators?
Yeah.
No, doesn't matter in your calculator. You can put it in anything you want. So what are we doing? We're going different places. Some are solving it, some are graphing it. All right, go, do your thing. This is what I want. I don't want to tell you how to do it. I'm a little disappointed nobody wants to try to solve it with me.
What do you mean?
Like actually find what x equals solving this without using a calculator. Oh shoot! Well, first I should have talked about this. Even if you had no idea what to do, you have a 25% chance if you guess, right? Knock it down to 50. There are 2 options up there. No shot. No shot. What's the highest exponent in the polynomial here? And what did that usually mean? 4 answers, right? Whatever the highest exponent is, that matches the number of answers. So that's why I'm saying now you got a 50-50 shot at least. Ah, look at that, huh? Test-taking strategies, Gabby.
Can you show me how to do it in the equations?
All right, go to equation,
Yeah.
right? And then you type in x to the 4th minus 9, all of that equal to 0.
Yeah. Is it? I just did 0 first. So
0 equals?
Yeah. Is that fine?
Shouldn't matter.
It clearly isn't fine though, because when I put it in, and then I did the negative 100 as my min, and then 100 as my max, it gave me this.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe you can't go to solver here.
I did it. I got it.
Or see if you press 10 instead of putting negative.
Yeah, just put negative 10.
I did negative
I did
100.
negative 100 and I got it.
Wait, did you accidentally, it like automatically said.
That's because you put plus 3x squared instead of plus 3x cubed.
Oh, yeah.
User error. Okay. I didn't have to say a word. Look at that. Didn't have to say a word. You're growing. Good. Progress. Any issues? How about 4? Look at 4 here. Come on. Come on.
Oh Oh wait, no, doesn't that mean like the side that's like not?
Yes,
The
yes.
angle is like the other side. The other.
We've done this already.
Yeah.
It just was
Did I
a
say it
slightly
right?
different. It didn't give us a point though. It gave us what quadrant we're in.
But you know.
The last problem we did. But where's -2, -3? -2, -3 is going to end up right here. And we're talking about tangent. What can I build right now?
Triangle.
And if you don't know how to build that triangle, what can you think of? Look at you guys. Let's go. Look at that. So proud. You should be able to label two sides. Is that?
I'm kind of stuck on that too. Wait,
Wait,
how
Yeah,
do
that
I
looks
do
good.
it?
What's that?
It's that way?
Or here you go.
Okay.
If you want to do that. Can you guys get me two side lengths right away? Right? That's why they gave you the point. -2 and -3.
Why do I always do that one? I put it on the inside. Did you do that?
What do you got next for me?
Like that?
I did too. I did Pythag. But you know what? At the end, I realized I didn't need it. Here's why. What are they asking you to find? Hey, if you do, hey, it's not just gonna be a little extra. It's gonna take you a little longer for the problem, right? It's asking you for tangent. Grant, remember that bad boy's not gonna be in the band room. Tangent, opposite over adjacent. I don't need the hypotenuse. It's gonna be -2 over -3. That I don't see that.
Well, they're both negative.
Yeah, you're darn right. So let's use your head, right? 2/3.
No. What? Oh yeah.
And I'll just throw this out. This is another one we could have eliminated two possibilities at the beginning. What were you asked to find? Tangent. And if you knew what quad you're in,
Oh wait, you didn't even have to.
all students take classes. What do we know about tangent in the third? It's positive, so those could have went right away before we did anything. All right. Just slow down, breathe, slow down and breathe, and know where you are. All right, 5. Here we go. 5.
Can we do 6 too?
Sure. It rolls right into what we just did today.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5. Come on, make me proud again. This was my wheelhouse this year. I'm giving you a cosine curve. And what is the range of temperatures?
Oh,
Range of temperatures. Range of temperatures. Okay. I've given you that before. There's an A, a B, and a C value there, right? What's the range? Range. How high and how low it goes, right? Ready? Let me cover up the 56. It was what? -23 to 23, right? It was that. And then we had a little shift of up 56. And now we have 33 to 79. All right, whoa. All right, you blanked maybe, right? Oh, this is too intimidating. I can't do this. All right, this is an equation, isn't it? All right, which can be graphed if you want to find the range. Watch this bad boy here. I'll do it for you. I go to grapher. Make sure you're in radian mode if you're going to graph a sine, cosine. Real quick, here you go. If you want to do it too, fine. If not, just watch me. So I have this, and it's going to be -23 cosine. I need the fraction template here. Pi over 6 x. Close it. and then add 56. Let's graph this bad boy. All right, range, highest to lowest, right? Move that cursor there. Oh, that's it. 79. 79, the highest point, all the way to 33. Does it for you. Okay, so use your calculator if you're unsure to graph stuff. It'll show you what the highest to the lowest is every time. All good? All right, Gabby, 6. I don't have that one prepared up here, but I can write it in.
Sorry.
No, I don't care. We're reviewing. Any problem is good to review. Well, first, I'm going to do it the way I showed you earlier and how to change that to a radical to an exponent. But what's it say? Which expression is equivalent? What did I suggest to you? First problem we did in our review this week. And what about it? What do I want you to do with A? Store in a random number. Remember? Yeah, if you want to find what's equivalent, you take A, you store in a random number that's not negative, 0, or 1. Type this in, you're going to get a value. Type in all your multiple choices, which value matches. So that's probably how I would go about it if I were you guys, Gabby. All right. Now, whoa. I'm glad you did this, because how the heck do I plug in 5th root of A to the 4th? Right? Darn right, toolbox. You go to your toolbox and it's there. All right, you go to your toolbox and it's there. But if you want to store. If not, you guys just learned this. Ready? A times, what's my exponent? EI. That used to be a song, by the way, that I used to play for. It's actually a pretty inappropriate song, but anybody know Nelly? The rapper Nelly, he sings a song called EI, and that's how I always have the kids remember it. But then looking into more of the song, it's pretty darn inappropriate. So, all right, but he has a good song if you want to just quickly listen to it. The main chorus, EI, uh-oh. All right, never mind. Go ahead. So 4 over 5. Yeah. And then what do I do with the exponents? Add them. Remember, there's a 1 here, right? So it should be A to the 9/5. But again, you want to store a number in for A, you store a number in for A.
I don't know how you would even, how that would even work.
What do you mean? Go ahead, talk to me.
Did you get A
To the 9/5?
Yeah.
1 plus 4/5. I do 1 plus 4/5 in there, yes? Yeah? Good morning?
Yes.
Anybody else? Or store. Everyone, seriously, are you okay storing? Because I think storing may get you 4 to 6 points on the multiple choice this year.
Can you show us?
Store?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
no, like I know how to do it,
What number are you storing?
3.
Sure. All right, so I go to the calculator, make sure it knows on calculations that I'm storing in for 3. So you always type the number in, so get rid of this. I type the number in 3, store key is that arrow. Store it in for A, alpha A. We're good there? Okay, now I'm gonna type in, ready Marnie? A, the original problem, A, and now I go to the toolbox for that radical. You see this one here, you get to put in any index you want. So I go there and I go back and type in, 5? And over here is A to the 4th, A raised to the 4th. Now it's going to give me that decimal right there, 7.22. Now I go through each of the multiple choices, type it in as is. One of them is going to give me 7.22 and change, and it's going to be that one. So anytime you see which one's equivalent to, that's where I'm rocking.
So like the next one too.
You could, but you can't store in for I. Remember, that's on the calc. So you could store in for A, yeah.
Okay.
And then type everything in with the I button. But remember, don't store in for I because that's an actual thing on the calculator. Okay. Questions going? All right, I think I'm going to end it right there because I probably won't get through. I wanted to, but it is what it is. Yeah, I wanted to get to 14, but that'll have to wait. All right, so here's what I'm suggesting. coming up to next class. And you guys that are staying 8th period, we can work on those first. Whatever you need, reach out to me, please. Also something I haven't told you yet because we haven't gone through a couple days. If there are topics that you are concerned about, like if this shows up, I am screwed, excuse my language. All right, either we've reviewed it and you're like, I'm screwed, or from last year, email me and I can make a Delta Math custom to you in that topic. All right, that I can send to you that it will only you will see. All right, so email me, hey, I really stunk at this last year or this year. I can get a Delta Math with a bunch of problems and send it solely to you. All right, so reach out to me if that's needed.